Coming up on WUFT's First at 5. Florida rains have been keeping us all on our toes. What's to come for this week's forecast in the Sunshine State?
And our community zone are still in Texas helping with recovery efforts, going the distance to help those in need.
Plus, danger in an Ocala daycare. A woman was arrested under charges of child abuse. First at 5.
First at 5. From the University of Florida's College of Journalism and Communications, you're watching WUFT News.
Rain has come our way each afternoon over the past few days, and more storms are likely this evening. Welcome to First at 5. I'm Sierra Pulver.
And I'm Carlos Corzo. This is Florida's rainy season, but low pressure spinning in the Gulf is giving storms a boost across north central Florida this evening. Luckily, we got UF forecaster Aiden Wacksman live in the studio to tell us what we should look out for this week. Aiden?
Carlos, most of us are getting sunshine today, but some of us aren't. You can see here in Levy County a couple of showers and storms moving through, also into Gilchrist County as well, moving to the north. But steering clear of those showers and storms here in Alachua County and Marion County, which got a lot of rain yesterday. Taking a close look at this round of storms moving through, you can see it losing a little bit of strength. Had a little bit more lightning earlier, a little bit more energy, but now that's losing energy as it continues to move across land. The showers and storms should drop out around the 10 o'clock hour tonight. Could see some storms around 9 o'clock, but as those storms lose the heat they need, they're way less likely to get going. Coming up, I'll be tracking the next round of showers and storms moving through tomorrow and keeping track of the tropical disturbance hugging the Florida Panhandle.
North Central Florida firefighters join in the search for survivors in Central Texas. WUFT's Michael Orlando joins us live in the studio to show us how Task Force 8 is jumping into action to potentially save lives.
Even 1,000 miles away, first responders can hear the call to action. North Central Florida firefighters have been in Texas for a week and a half.
All these first responders here in Texas are just emotionally and physically beat up. This is their families, so we're coming out here to help them, to help our brothers and sisters.
Some members of Task Force 8 say they heard about the flooding, saw the damage, and started preparing to help almost immediately.
So as we started seeing that, I know a lot of the Florida teams started prepping mentally and obviously physically to see if that call would come, and it did.
Their job is to scour flooded areas looking for survivors. It's hard work.
The terrain is very treacherous.
Not just physically. Flooding has killed at least 132 people, with more than 100 more still missing. Being a firefighter means you're no stranger to tragedy.
There's really no training or preparing for that.
But it also means that you're not alone.
We lean very heavily on each other, to help process these things.
WUFT reached out to the wife of one member of Task Force 8. She says her husband wouldn't want to be put on any sort of pedestal for taking that call to action.
We're just out here doing what we're trained to do and work really hard and try to bring some peace out here in Texas.
This team is just one of 8 in Florida, only one of 50 states.
The whole incident's about 82 miles long, and it covers 11 counties.
But if even one life is saved,
it's a small piece of this. And
North Central Florida is making a world of difference.
Task Force 8 is made out of 29 firefighters from Gainesville, Ocala, and Marion County Fire Rescues. They spent most of the past week in Travis County, and they're now on their way to Cow Creek. They said they'll stay in the Lone Star State as long as it takes to give Central Texas residents peace. Live in the studio, Michael Orlando, WUFT News.
An Ocala daycare worker is facing child abuse charges after police say they uncovered several disturbing incidents with infants. Police were called to the All-Star Learning Academy on Silver Springs Boulevard on Monday. Detectives say a coworker of 33-year-old Carla Penalverti-Gonzalez showed them a video of her violently bouncing a baby. Investigators say the mistreatment of 6 babies ages 4 to 9 months spanned from March until July. They say she was involved in several other instances of physical harm, including rough handling, forced feeding, and near suffocation. Police say the abuse was reported to the daycare's management, but no action was taken to address the allegations in a timely manner. Penalverti-Gonzalez faces 8 counts of child abuse and resisting arrest. She is due back in court for an arraignment on August 19th.
Deputies in Alachua County are bringing a 15-year cold case back into the spotlight to help solve the murder of 96-year-old Lila Leach. Investigators say Lila was attacked in her home and later died from her injuries. Deputies say they've spent countless hours on her case, following every lead, but still no concrete answers. If you have any information about Lila's death, you're urged to call the Alachua County Sheriff's Department.
Friday morning, Gainesville leaders will celebrate the completion of a new roadway and infrastructure system in East Gainesville with a ribbon-cutting ceremony. The new roadway of Southeast 20th Street created a north-south connector and extended roads through a new intersection. And beneath the roadway, the city invested $3.8 million in an infrastructure system of conduits for water, wastewater, stormwater, electrical, and street lighting, with 4 adjacent undeveloped parcels ready for construction to begin in mid-2026. The ribbon ceremony starts at 9 a.m.
Safe Kids Coalition of North Central Florida is hosting a free car seat safety check this Thursday. So buckle up, baby gators. It's time to focus on areas that impact kids the most, like car seat safety. At this event, you can learn how to properly install and use your car seat from certified technicians. The event will be held from July 17th from 1 to 3:30 p.m. at UF Health Professional Park. Car seats are available to those who meet the eligible criteria. For more information, please contact the Coalition Coordinator of Safe Kids.
Drivers in Marion County can expect lane closures on Southwest 61st Circle. The closures start August 21st through November 21st between the hours of 7 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. Miller Pipeline is installing underground sewer services needing large equipment. Workers will set up barricades and signs to smoothly direct traffic through the work zone. Drivers are encouraged to take other routes when possible. Marion County Public Schools are gearing up for the new school year to begin. Back-to-school orientations are scheduled beginning as early as July 21st and run until August 8th. Monday, August 11th marks the first day of school, so new students should register for school now to avoid lines. We've posted the full list of schools, orientation dates, and times on WUFT.org.
A small plane crashed into a tree Sunday in a South Florida neighborhood about 20 miles north of Miami. Everyone on the plane survived thanks to quick action from neighbors who helped pull the victims from the wreck. According to Pembroke Pines Police, the pilot said he was returning home with his wife and daughters on his way to North Perry Airport. Lowered his landing gear, he had no thrust, and then he lost altitude. The pilot's wife's legs were pinned, and Good Samaritans had to use tools to get her out. Torres Jordan was part of that group that helped pull the passengers out.
Propeller was actually in my yard, so it was just a shock, came out, seen the plane on fire, and then, right when I seen it, I'm kind of like a read and react guy, so I just ran right over. It's already like a few of my neighbors in the neighborhood, everybody came together and was able to react like really quick.
Federal investigators will determine the cause of the crash. Authorities say between 2020 and last year, there were 14 crashes and 20 other incidents at the North Perry Airport.
The public and White House officials are calling for the release of the Epstein files. The president's response and more coming up.
And flash floods continue throughout the country. What's behind the seemingly non-stop weather we've been seeing over the past few weeks? More after the break.
You're watching WUFT-TV News.
People and White House officials are calling for the release of the Epstein files. But the president lashed out at supporters, saying they've been drawn into a hoax. Many conspiracy theories have come out about the convicted sex offender, believing Epstein did not kill himself and he left a client list. President Trump, when elected for a second term, promised to release the Epstein files. But this month, Attorney General Pam Bondi published a memo contradicting the theories and hasn't released all the documents. This angered people more, now wanting answers. President Trump says he does not understand why there is so much buzz around this, claiming the controversy is a hoax and blaming Democrats for pushing it.
It's perpetrated by the Democrats, and some stupid Republicans and foolish Republicans fall into the net.
The president is standing by his attorney general and says she has given out all of the credible information needed.
Dangerous flash floods have been occurring all over the country, from Texas Hill County to downtown Manhattan. But what is behind the flooding that we've been seeing over the past few weeks? Experts say it's a combination of things: intense heat, atmospheric moisture, even slow movement of storms. Michael Yoshida details what's behind the seemingly non-stop weather events.
Heavy rain and deadly flash flooding putting communities across the United States underwater.
It feels like events like last night, again, not just in New Jersey, but as a general matter, are coming more frequently with more intensity.
Summer is flash flood season, when intense daytime heat can fuel thunderstorms and warm air can hold more moisture. But experts say these recent events were more significant for several reasons. Along with high daytime temperatures in parts of the country, we've also seen record levels of atmospheric moisture, which helped drive heavy rainfall that led to deadly flooding in Texas and North Carolina. Summer storms also tend to move more slowly or even stall due to winds in the upper atmosphere being weaker.
And as a result, just deluging places that are not designed to handle that amount of precipitation in that short a period of time.
Recent wildfires also causing problems in areas like Ruidoso, New Mexico, burning away vegetation, and in some areas the fire's extreme heat changing the soil's natural ability to absorb and slow down rainwater. Droughts can have a similar effect too, something we saw amplify deadly flooding in Texas. Urban areas are not immune either, where asphalt pavement and older drain systems can be overrun.
There is a growing recognition in financial markets, in the scientific community, and starting in infrastructure planning that we are dealing with a much different beast in terms of the weather patterns that we're experiencing, and things have to change.
In Washington, Michael Yoshida reporting.
Some of us are still seeing some showers and storms today. I'll have your full forecast coming up.
You're watching WUFT-TV News.
So it looks like most of the north central Florida area is finally getting some much needed sunshine. I mean, it's just such a breath of fresh air.
Hopefully all of the families out there are soaking up these last few days in the sun before school starts next fall.
Most of us are getting a break from the rain today. That is the good news. Some scattered showers and storms. If we go ahead and take a look at the radar right now, you can see some of these storms moving from the south to the north, and you can see right here in Gilchrist County some of these storms weakening over time as they cross land and lose some of that daytime heating that they need. If we zoom in a little bit closer onto this one, you can see some lightning moving through parts of Trenton and Bell, but the storm not dropping nearly as many of those heavy rains in the dark reds and the light purples as it was a little bit earlier today. Now, we have seen a lot of rain over the past 24 hours, but especially along the Gulf Coast. Parts of Cedar Key, Levy County, parts of Taylor County and Dixie County as well, seeing over an inch and a half or more of rain. And even Ocala yesterday in the early afternoon hours getting up to 4 inches of rain. Now, the culprit for this rain is this low pressure system that's hugging the panhandle right now, bringing a lot of rain right now to parts of the southeast and Alabama, Mississippi, and soon to be Louisiana as well. But you can see some of those showers and storms moving through, kind of moving along with that low pressure system, which is causing some of those winds that are coming from the south to kind of intensify some of those storms. Now, this National Hurricane Center is giving this disturbance about a 40% chance of developing in the next 48 hours. A lot of land interference with this storm. It's a pretty messy looking system right now. The infrared radar, you can see some of these orange and reds where you see some of those higher cloud tops, meaning some stronger showers and thunderstorms moving through. Some more powerful systems usually would have a little bit more of those colors, but right now it's really struggling to get going. It's center way away from where it would normally be because it's trying to avoid some wind shear. A lot of moisture in the Gulf of Mexico for this storm to feed off of. You can see here this storm moving, or this system moving counterclockwise, so dragging some of those winds from the Gulf and creating some more of that moisture, the potential for it to strengthen if it hugs the land a little bit less. That's why the National Hurricane Center is monitoring this thing over the next couple of days. Now, potential paths for this storm, you can see it kind of hugging the coast, which is why at most, if this were to form, likely a tropical depression or a very weak tropical storm, is it hugs the Florida coast and then moves into Louisiana and parts of Mississippi as well, and all the way through Arkansas, at least according to some of these spaghetti models. So these models kind of predict where the center of the storm could be going over the next couple of days. Overhead on campus right now, staying pretty mostly cloudy, honestly, right now. Some blue skies in the background there, 92 degrees, but we're feeling even hotter, over 100 degrees with some light winds right now. The temperatures in our area for the rest of us in Gainesville, 90 degrees here at the airport, and then staying around those high 80s to low 90s for the rest of us. Looking ahead to the 7-day forecast, a little bit of a dip in those rain chances, but still staying pretty hot. I'll have one final look at the weather coming up.
You're watching WUFT-TV.
Welcome to sports. I'm Josh Stevens. The upcoming football season just keeps creeping closer and closer, with all eyes on the Gators. Coach Napier has the keys to confidence for his squad.
you know, we have to keep our group focused on, you know, how did we develop some of this confidence? And I think we anchored that in how we prepare, our toughness, the discipline, being process oriented, and certainly being a great teammate.
Yeah, you know, the way I handle pressure and, you know, all that stuff, I kind of prepare during the week like crazy. And preparation leads to confidence. So once I get to Saturday, I already know that I didn't put the work in. I did all I needed to do.
SEC Commissioner Greg Sankey also took to the podium earlier this week. Despite the SEC making up all 10 of ESPN's top 10 toughest schedules, Sankey faced questions about adding another conference game to the schedule.
In the SEC, we're not lacking for quality competition among our 16 football teams. But we're going to continue to evaluate whether increasing the number of conference football games is appropriate for us. And as I've said repeatedly, understanding how the CFP will evaluate strength of schedule and even strength of record is critically important in our decision making.
Finally, while college football is stealing the buzz, NFL training camp is right around the corner with the Bucs set to begin on Monday. Aiden will have one final weather update after the break.
Rain chances dropping off just a bit to end the week, but we could be having a very hot weekend with temperatures in the mid-90s, heat indexes well over 100 possible as well. Make sure to get that sunscreen out.
Thank you for that, Aiden. And thank you for tuning in. We'll be back here again tomorrow for another edition of First at 5.